Okay. Okay. So the meeting is being recorded now. Yeah. So, like I said, today's conversation is going to be around self-love and self-care. First, we're going to really understand what self-love is, and we're going to relating it to self-care. You know, when people talk about self-love, what comes to their head is being selfish, and that is not what it is. And basically, today we're going to discuss about how you need to prioritize yourself, not prioritizing yourself and neglecting others, but how to actually balance it so that you feel like a human being, you feel sane, and you feel safe too. So, welcome everyone. My name is Deborah Chapjumbo, and I'm the lead therapist for DWNS 4. DWNS 4 is a wellness center where we offer range of wellness services from sex therapy to mental health, trauma, age, marriage and relationship counseling, and transformation coaching. So we offer a range of services just to help you be sane and be on your best mental health path. So I'm going to take us through the next slide, the outcome for today's session. So at the end of today, we're going to look at the importance of self-love as a foundation for self-care, because if you do not love yourself, you cannot care for yourself. And also you explore how to prioritize your needs and cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself. You know, a lot of us struggle with discipline, and you're like, why is it so hard for me to discipline myself? But that's because you're really not giving yourself that attention that you need to be able to understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I tell you, it's going to be a struggle, but when you finally get it, it feels like you just got your superpower back. So at the end of today, you would know why it's important for you to care for yourself, why it's important for you to love yourself, and then you also learn habits and how to build a healthy relationship with yourself. A lot of us have been able to build a relationship with ourselves, but it's toxic. It's not healthy. So at the end of the day, we'll keep on sacrificing for others, and because it makes us feel good, maybe we tell ourselves that lie, that if you continue sacrificing for people, that it will you maybe you have a special seat or a house in heaven, that when you go to heaven, God will give you a special seat and tell you that, oh, this is for being a sacrificial lamb to everybody and neglecting yourself. Yeah. So why does self-love matter? um One, self-love is not selfish. I had mentioned that before. Loving yourself is not being selfish, and if society terms it that, that's their problem. But self-love is not being selfish. Selfish is another ball game altogether. It's you totally not caring about other people, but self-love is about you caring for yourself, caring for your needs, at least your happiness. Everybody deserves to be happy, even if, yes, we have people we need to take care of, but we don't have to be sacrificial lambs all the time. It is essential for your well-being. Yes, you need to love yourself for you to be sane and for you to also receive love from others. You know, at a point in my life, I struggled with accepting love from other people because honestly, I didn't know how to love myself. And because I didn't know how to love myself, I didn't really know what love was. And when people loved me, I didn't really know how to also reciprocate. And it was an issue because some of us even have love, the right love around us. But the thing is, we do not even know how to accept, receive that love. And even so, if you don't love yourself, how do you expect to allow other people love you? At the end of the day, you get to make people around you get stressed or get burdened with even being around or being or giving you that availability that you need. Also, self-love, it's about recognizing your worth, accepting your imperfections, and prioritizing your needs. And that is why when you talk about self-love or self-care, there's no self-love or self-care if you have not established a relationship with yourself. And it is when you establish that relationship with yourself, you're able to know your worth. You will not allow people host you left and right, use you, take you back and forth. Um, Also accepting your imperfection. Every human being has their own imperfection. Nobody is perfect. In fact, yes, even though we strive to be perfect beings, we work hard to be perfect. We're not totally perfect. We have our flaws. And that is why it is important for us to know our flaws. And that's how we can be able to also manage these flaws and our relationship with other people too. For example, oh, I know that one of my flaws is that I'm temperamental. And so what I would do is that I would try as much as possible to avoid situations where I would or put myself in a point where I'll be very temperamental to the point that I cannot control myself anymore. So I would avoid certain conversations. I would set boundaries and a lot. Also prioritizing your needs. Sometimes you really need this, but because in your head you have this Oyoma CY mentality, you just post your needs. And to be honest, any need that you chose that you do not fulfill or you do not pay attention to, in future it comes back to you. And sometimes it's not actually a negative, it's not a positive comeback. Sometimes it comes back with you with its own pressure. And if you're not able to hold yourself or manage that situation, it gets out of hand. So when you cultivate self-love, you build resilience. Even life gets tougher as you grow older. Everybody talks about you being able to um challenge situations, you've been able to go headstrong with situations. If you don't love yourself, you cannot cultivate that resilience, because at some point in life's journey, you will fall, you will fail. There are some times where you just tell yourself, I got this, I'm going to be strong, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then when you get to that point, you just break down. Yes. So it helps you build resilience, it helps you build your confidence. If as a woman you love yourself so much, you see that confidence when you enter into the room and you see people, but because you know your worth, you know your value, you know how important you are. I remember a few months back when I did a webinar for some tech students about their self, knowing yourself, realizing that I'm being born to this earth for a purpose, and realizing the purpose that you have come to this earth to do. When you know that you have a value to offer, there's this confidence. You know yourself, you know your worth, you know what you're made of, the stuffs you're made up of. And then it creates a foundation for healthy relationship with others. I've said that earlier. When you love yourself, when you have a good relationship with yourself, when you know your imperfection, you are able to have healthy relationship with others. And that's because you know your boundaries. You also know how to set boundaries in that relationship. Yeah. So what's the difference between selfishness and self-care? When people talk about, oh, this year I'm going to love myself, this year I'm going to care for myself, sometimes what comes to their head is them being selfish. And self-care and self-love doesn't require you to be selfish. In fact, being selfish is a sin, it's a bad thing, it's a menace. So let's look at the difference between selfishness and self-care. Please, if you get to any slide and it's important to you, it's okay for you to screenshot. You can screenshot it and then go through it later again. Now, what is selfishness? Selfishness is you acting solely for your own interest. This one is you not even putting anybody's interest at heart. Not, for example, if you're a woman with children, or if a woman married with children, you do things, you don't care about your children, you don't think about what will happen to them. Your own is that it is my own satisfaction at the end of the day, nobody else matter. That's selfishness. So it is you acting solely for your own interest and personal gain, disregarding the needs and feelings of others. It prioritizes immediate gratification over long-term well-being. It is just that thing you would get satisfied of that period. You don't think about, oh, what happens tomorrow? What will happen in the next minute if I take such decision? And um, some persons will ask this question, oh, we have a 10 commandments. Sorry, Dami says she can't see the slides. Is this same for others? Please, if you can see the slides, just let me know.
You can see the slide.
Okay. So then maybe you may try swiping to see if you can if you can see it again. Yeah, so the Ten Commandments, it's divided into two parts. We living at peace with God and living at peace with men. That's to tell you that relationship with other people is very, very important. No man is an island. Yes, at some point you need to prioritize yourself, but then again, you also have to ensure that you are at peace with every other person. Because if everybody is not happy with you, it's a problem. You cannot grow, you cannot survive, because you would also need someone's help at some point in your life. Now, what is self-care? This is taking actions that nourish and support your physical, emotional, and mental health. Allowing yourself to be a better version of yourself and respecting your boundaries and your values. When it comes to self-care, it involves self-development. That is you updating yourself, building a better version of yourself every day. It entails you setting boundaries for yourself and for other people. In fact, I never knew the importance of setting boundaries until when I started. As in, when I also set boundaries for myself, I tell myself, Deborah, this is what you're going to do. Outside that, you cannot. Your relationship with this person, once he exceeds like this, terminated. You cannot. And I tell you, once you exceed these boundaries, and that is it. You also tell yourself, oh, in such gathering, this is how I would behave. I won't behave more than this. I'll keep quiet. This is what I will say. This is what I will not say. And there are a lot of boundaries: emotional boundaries, physical boundaries, mental boundaries, material boundaries as well. You set for yourself. You tell yourself, oh, is it this money? I cannot spend more than 200,000 naira to buy hair. That is material boundary. You have told yourself, because maybe you have a target, or you have maybe a goal you want to achieve. Maybe you have a saving goal you want to achieve, and maybe your salary is at this point. You tell yourself, I cannot spend more than this. That is the boundary you set for yourself too. So also values requires you to also have values. If I ask, how many of you have values? Please give me a thumbs up. You can use the reaction and this thing. Give me a thumbs up if you have values, your personal values as a person. Can I see? Okay, Dami said she has values. Thank you. Happiness. Okay. Who else again? Queen has. So for those of us who are not raising our hands, if you do not have values, go and sit down after this session and tell yourself, these are my values. These are the things that define me. These are the things that, if it is not it, it is not me. Or one of my values is excellence. If I'm not giving excellence, then it's a problem. One of my value is humility. If I'm so proud, it's a problem. So as a woman, as a person, it is important for you to have values, for you to set boundaries for yourself. So that's what self-care is all about. So let's go on to the next. Building a healthy relationship with yourself. Like I said, you cannot love yourself if you do not build relationship with yourself, and not just any kind of relationship, a healthy one. Like I mentioned, a lot of us have built toxic relationship with ourselves, and we continue feeding our minds and our body with a lot of negativity. You tell yourself, oh, Deborah, you can't do this. Deborah, you're not worth this. Oh, Deborah, settle for this now. You begin to give yourself that mentality of settling for less when you know that you can achieve more. So, building a healthy relationship for yourself, self-awareness, understanding your thoughts, your feelings, and your needs. You need to be self-aware. Know yourself. Who am I? One day you just sit and ask yourself, Belebara or Belebara, who are you? What are your thoughts about life around certain things? What do you need as a person? What are your feelings? And even at some point in your life, you also learn how to acknowledge your feelings too. Also, the next thing you need to do is self-acceptance. A lot of us struggle with that. You can never be another person. Everybody has something unique about themselves. So you need to discover that unique thing about yourself and accept yourself for that. Because if you do not accept yourself, you cannot be able to work on yourself. You cannot be able to boost yourself. You cannot be able to build a better version of you or groom a better version of yourself. So the first one, you need to be self-aware, who you really are, what you represent. You need to also accept yourself, embrace every part of yourself, your flaws, your good sides, also your sides that are in between, your body. Oh, my leg is not good. And then like sometimes see them being successful. What is really the magic? It is them accepting themselves. Oh, my hands are not working now, and that is me. But then again, what can I do with this situation? How can I use this situation to better myself, to become a better version of myself? And once that phase is being passed, there is nothing. Because from you accepting yourself, you begin to also decide, this is what I can do, this is what I wouldn't do. Or it also helps you in shaping your goals and tells you, oh, this is me, and these are the things I want to do. How do I go about it? And because you know yourself, whatever goals and plans you do will align, fit with who you are or what you represent. Also, self-compassion. This is you treating yourself with kindness and understanding. A lot of us, particularly the ladies, we're too hard on ourselves. You don't need to. You don't need to be hard on yourself. The men too, sometimes they are very hard on themselves. Sometimes you just have to understand that you don't have to judge yourself with other people's reality. They are living their life. They are facing their own challenges. You know, when I had my son, I was going through, I was going through different phases of postnatal depression, and it was crazy. Especially when I had a bloated stomach. And I will go online and I will see other people that gave birth, and in 2-3 months they were having flash stomach. So one day I just told myself that, now this thing, what are you? It's not you, it's not your stomach. I now looked at one shapewear I had and I wore it, and I wore one dress. I was looking fast. Okay. The only thing is that when I come back home, I remove the shapewear. You see the big stomach. So what is it? Why am I being hard on myself? I relaxed. And I just had to take up comfortable routines to also help with my baby fat reduction. And I was so comfortable. And funny enough, because I was not paying too much attention to these things anymore, it was later on I even saw the results. But because I was so hard on myself, it was so annoying that anytime I go on Instagram, I'll be seeing a lot of flash people who were recovering from their baby fats and all that, and it was so depressing. At some point I left social media so that I will be safe. That was me prioritizing myself. That was me caring for myself. I left social media for months. I wasn't on any platform for months aside, I think it was just WhatsApp. Even the WhatsApp I was off and on because my mental health was at risk. I said, if it's social media, stay one place. Also, treat yourself to some kindness. See, if it is ice cream that is hungering you and you have the money, at least yourself deserve that every craving be satisfied. Sometimes that is you become, my body is paining. I know massage these days are very expensive, but at least if you can beg even somebody that's living with you, come and press my body. Let my body breathe. So self-compassion is very important. It's not every time you're always feeling for other people and yourself, you are suffering. You have this money you've saved that you want to buy clothes, but rather you use it and buy clothes for another person. You also deserve to be taken care of. In fact, it was last year, late last year, I told myself that, oh man, I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to, you see, the little things, they matter. And I'm not going to allow the fact that, oh, I have a child, for that one to limit me. If my son is going to playground, me too, I'll find something and play with. If I'm taking them to the ice cream shop, I also buy a flavor that I love. If I have the opportunity, I'll go out, I'll go to the bar and sit down and take a bottle of my favorite drink and relax and dance to music. So you see, self-compassion, these are like, you can note them down. Self-awareness, realizing who you are, what your feelings are, your true feelings, not a feeling that you're pretending to have because you want to please people. And then understanding your thoughts. What are your perception about this? About marriage, what's your thought about it? About your career, what's your perception? What do you think about it? Because these things will help you create your goals and begin to plan what your future will look like. Oh, accept yourself. That's the second thing. Because honestly, if you do not accept yourself, nobody will accept it for you. And that confidence you're looking for, you will not see it because you begin to feel inferior. You know, there was a point in my life that, hey, if someone would tell me that a whole me will have low self-esteem, I will say, God forbid, 100 times. But I was in that state. I had low self-esteem. In fact, I was busy looking for another person's life I will mirror. Meanwhile, I have a life and a purpose I should live. But because I refused to accept myself at that point, I was just running here and here and here, looking at people and then a life I will mirror. But when I finally accepted myself, hey, Deborah, this is you. There's nothing you do about it. It's either you work towards being a better version of yourself or you stick like that and you live with your flaws. And when I got through that phase, man, I'm living my life on my own terms. Yeah, sometimes I get to face life challenges, but then again, it's a phase, and I beat myself and I stand up and I move because I know who I am, and nobody can change that. I alone am only working towards being a better version, so that there will be peace on earth and in heaven at the end of the day. Self-compassion also. So love yourself, be kind to yourself, be understanding. Do not pressure yourself. You're not meeting up the goals today doesn't mean if you put in little effort or more effort, you won't meet it tomorrow. And you not being, for example, if you have a target, oh, I want to save 2 million, or I want to save 1 million at the end of the year, and you're not meeting it. You also sit down and ask yourself, why am I not meeting it? Oh, because of this, because of that. Then you plan again and retarget. Give yourself another target again. And then you work towards it. It's all about continuous learning, continuous improvement. So on to the next. Overcoming common barriers to self-love. So there are some barriers that will limit you from loving yourself. One of it is negative self-talk. Telling yourself you can't do this. Who said so? And why will you say so to yourself? In fact, why would you even hijack someone else's? Maybe someone tells you, Deborah, you'll never succeed in life, and it lives rent-free in your head. And you begin to tell yourself, Deborah, they said you will not make it in life. I know you will not make it in life. That is not it. You talk yourself out of it. When that negative talk comes, in fact, I have one sticker in my bathroom. Whenever I'm brushing, I look at it and I read it to myself. I have it on my wardrobe. Whenever I'm dressing up, I also read it to myself. I am an uncommon woman. In fact, I am not ordinary. I'm not the usual. I am unique. I do exploits. I am enveloped in God's grace and favor. I read it to myself every day. Because the devil your mind is a powerful tool. If the devil gets hold of it and begins to say all sort of negative things into your head, it's going to be a long walk. a really, really long walk. So you need to challenge those negative thoughts and mindsets when they come. Maybe something your head tells you, Anita, you can't do this. Say it's a lie. Even if you cannot say anything, say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The plans God has for me are good, that I'll have an expected end. So what is this one that I will not make it in life? Who is talking that nonsense? Challenge it and replace it with positive affirmation. I am the light of the world. I am the salt of the world. I give value. I have value to give. I am not normal. I am not ordinary. I have my superpowers. You see that when you begin to challenge them consistently, it goes away. In fact, when those thoughts come again, you just laugh. You just say, they have come again. You challenge it and let them go. Rebuke the devil and he will flee. It's when he comes and you are embracing him, you are giving him chair to sit down, you are giving him water and food, entertaining him, letting him feel at home. That is when he lives rent free in your head. Remember when someone said something to me that in that month, it was just ringing in my head. When I told myself, what is that one? In fact, my life is better than this person. What is it? And when I realized that, when that thought comes to my head, I rebuke it sharp, sharp. And I'm living the life that I want to live. It is not perfect, but it is what it is. Also, fear of judgment. A lot of people feel they'll be judged. Let people judge you. If you will carry your money and go and buy, let me even say something. Okay, probably you see a jewelry that you love so much. Maybe you're a lover of jewelry and you see a jewelry that you love so much and you buy it with your money. Not people are cow money, not money that somebody gave you to keep, with your money. And somebody will not say, see her, instead of you to use, don't allow some of her to use the money and do, they let them be thinking and judging you in their head. You have satisfied that need. That when you wear that necklace, it gives you that confidence. It gives you that, you feel so beautiful in yourself. Overcome that barrier. Don't allow people will judge. I know the interesting part about people judging you. If you do good, they will judge you. If you do bad, they will judge you. So at the end of the day, you are left to do you. That's the honest truth. What will people say? People will still talk. You're in a toxic relationship. People will still talk. Why she still stay? You leave the toxic relationship. Oh, why she go? She no fit endure. At the end of the day, you will do you. Because if you stay in that place or you stay in that fear, you will lose yourself. And if you lose yourself, people will still talk. Hey, that me, she not be herself again, no. I don't know anything that happened to her again, no. Because you self they follow them, you don't know say them to them, they wait for gist. People only be looking for what to talk about and judge you for. So at the end of the day, do you. So that when they talk, that feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment will wave whatever thing they're saying to your ears away. This Christmas, I told myself I will enjoy myself. A lot of people say this one, they even do like married woman. But at the end of the day, I don't want to enjoy myself, come back. So whatever you have said, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, you don't fly, you don't come out. Everybody's okay. Everybody's going to be all right at the end of the day. So you are left to do you. Also, perfectionism. You are not perfect, auntie. My brother, you are not perfect. Try as much as possible to remove that from your head. I know there are people that have some syndromes that they are so perfect. Everything must be there. It must be how it is. Their life. You can pretend to yourself all you like. Embrace your imperfection. That is the only way you can work on it. And celebrate your unique qualities. There is something unique about you that another person does not have. Don't think that, in fact, if people get to understand or know or discover your unique qualities, they would desire it. So you self that have that unique quality, you don't know it. You don't even appreciate it. Embrace your imperfections. That is the only way you can work on them. When you don't embrace, what do you want to work on? Work on something you don't accept that it actually exists. Another one is lack of time. So don't say I don't have time to do this. You want to go and do spa. You don't have time. Create time. You are carrying one cortez on your leg for 3 months. Create time. Prioritize that time for self-care. Time is not going to create itself. As you're scheduling time for other things, there was a day that I went to pick up my son from crèche and I needed to do. In fact, that period my head was hot on self-care. I was like, I need to care for myself. I've been carrying this. In fact, my nails are looking funny. This is not me now. So I said, if I go and pick him from school, will I have the time when he's home to do it? What I did was, as I was going to pick him up from school, I arranged a little bag that has water, that had snacks, that could carry us, extra diaper that could carry us till whenever I finish, and extra change of clothes, just in case there's a need to change his clothes. Just as I was bringing him from crèche, I just stopped by the salon and I had my time. So instead of us to stay at home because we want to care for him to stay home, I brought him to where I wanted to do it. So I'm doing two things at a time. I'm changing my nail polish, I'm doing my nails, and he's here with me and I'm looking after him. So you need to schedule time for your self-care activity and you need to prioritize them. Is it reading a book? You can tell yourself, okay, while the baby is sleeping, or maybe while he's watching cartoon, if it is audio book, I will plug in and I'll listen. Or if it is you reading a book, you read at least 10 pages. If reading book is self-care for you. If sleeping too is self-care for you. As your baby is taking a nap, you nap with him. It may not be something you do every time, but then you just plug in and you nap with him. Maybe you do it once in a week, or like that, you nap with him. That's self-care. A lot of us, if they say, when was the last time you actually had good sleep? But to be honest, we have not. But most of the time, if you're not sleeping, you're lost, wasting your time thinking about things that most times you do not even have control over. And I say these things because I say them out of experience. I've gotten to a point in my life where I love myself and I also love my family and I love my friends too. But then again, a person where they're alive, they love friends, they love family. So I need to also be alive for myself. And I need to do all it takes, even if I don't do all in bits, to ensure that I stay alive. So these are some of the common barriers to self-love. There are a lot of them, but these are like the priority. These are like the top of the list. So ensure that you have in your backpack a lot of positive affirmations to kick off or kick away negative thoughts when they come. Do not care what people say. As long as you're not killing somebody, people will talk. You have to also embrace your imperfections. Also celebrate your unique qualities. If you don't know what is unique about yourself, start searching yourself. What is that thing that I do effortlessly? What is that thing about me that people just easily appreciate? Those are the ways you can actually find your unique qualities. Also, lack of time. Begin to create time for yourself. Even if it is 30 minutes in a day, create time for yourself. Now, how do you develop a self-love practice? And it is easy to build habits, honestly, than letting go. So that's why you see bad habits, bam, you have cultivated it. But to stop it is a problem. So also is good habits, but most times we cultivate more of bad habits than good habit because good habit don't give us that immediate gratification that we desire. Most good habits are usually long-term satisfaction that they give. And if you remember when I was talking about what selfishness was, I, I mentioned, sorry, please pardon me, apologies. I mentioned that selfishness deals on short-term satisfaction or gratification. And that's why people find it hard to build good habits because you be what is this now? I've been doing this one. For example, you pick up exercise or to be exercising. You not get the end result immediately or in a week, or maybe in a month's time. That's like a big deal for a lot of people. So there are practices you need to adopt to also build good habits that at the end of the day you'll begin to enjoy the long-term gratification. So number one practice is identify your values and what brings you joy. Please, you can also screenshot this. So when you have your free time, you can actually start answering these questions. Probably you just begin to outline them one by one, and then you revisit them and begin to align yourself to what works for you and what won't work for you. So, like I mentioned, for those of us who say we don't have personal values, you need to identify what your values are and then also identify the things that give you joy. Is it watching movies? Is it reading book? Is it learning a new skill? Whatever it is that gives you joy. Is it what they call it, taking cold ice cream? If it's that one that gives you joy, just like me, is it that very chilled cook? The joy and fulfillment it gives within, even though I know that at the end of the day it is not good for me, at least once in a blue moon, I just take it. I deserve that craving to be satisfied. One bottle or one sip of that chilled coke will not kill me. Also, number two, engage in activities that nurture your well-being. Activities like exercise. I'm a very lazy person when it comes to exercise, but now I've taken, in fact, let me even show you something. It's not close to me. I have two bottle water. There are two bottles of water like this. They are filled to the brim, like they are filled. I use them as my dumbbell. They're in my bedroom. In the morning when I want to beat, I just do maybe 10 of different sets. I squat. And that's it. I've gone into the bathroom to have my bath. I've done exercise. Or sometimes I just do jumping jack, 100. That's it. It may not be you going to the gym or running on the street. It could be just simple aerobics at home and you're good to go. So engage in activities like exercising, meditation. Some of us do not buy the idea of meditating, but then it helps you to be mindful. Could just stay in a quiet place, begin to it helps you, even it helps your brain works faster. I do that once in a while though. You can try meditation, also spending time in nature. Probably it could be the beach, it could be maybe a garden that has a lot of fresh flowers. It could, because where you have a lot of trees, there's what they call it, there's a lot of air around that place. It helps you breathe, it helps you think, it gives you that feeling. I like going to the beach. I also love gardens too. So you can look for where you can actually interact with nature. It also helps you to discover yourself, make you feel at peace, make you feel at ease. Sometimes, that feeling that alcohol gives when you maybe say, let me go and drink alcohol so that I will get high and forget. You can get it by just spending time in nature. That's relaxed mindset. Number three, set boundaries and prioritize your needs. If you want to know what boundaries is, I have a video on YouTube um that you can actually go look out for. I think it's also on my Facebook page also. Yeah, so setting boundaries, you need to set boundaries. If you have not set boundaries, don't allow people to be tossing you left, right, and center, or people to be talking to you anyhow, or people to use you and drop you and then come back and pick you again. Set boundaries. Or people to just come into your life and go out the way they like. You need to set, if you have not thought about setting boundaries, even as a couple, for those who are married, you need to set boundaries. There are things, tell your spouse, your wife, or your husband, you see this thing, you don't do it. I don't like it. This is my boundary. Once you exceed it like that, you don't come up for gear. You tell your friends, oh, we're having a conversation. I I have a friend, she's on this call. We don't when it comes to when it comes to what we say to each other, at least this period we're a bit matured. uh That's my friend. She can escape with that. But there are some people that you cannot chat with me and you tell me you're mad or call me good. When that one starts. That's boundaries. You can't speak to me anyhow. That's boundaries. And boundaries are set depending on the kind of relationship you have with the person. There are boundaries you set and you say, this person, I cannot discuss this with this person. You set boundaries with people. Not everybody deserves to come to your house. Not everybody. In fact, some deliveries, don't pick up, I'll come and meet you at the point. In fact, I even give a landmark that is not close to my house, or maybe a bit distant from my house, so that you don't know where I live. You don't need to know that information. There are a lot of relationship you have that you don't even need them to know certain things about your life. There are people in your life that do not deserve to know where you work, do not deserve to know what milk your child takes, or what kind of meal your child takes, or the color you like. There are certain people that they cannot call you by your name, and that's boundary. That is you setting respect for yourself. So you also need to prioritize your need too. It's not every time you're sacrificing for people. Yes, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. This person needs to do it. There needs to be a level ground so everybody is happy. Because I cannot continue suffering and being in that. And how long do you want to continue enduring and putting other people's feelings over yours or needs over yours? Do you think that if they were like you, they will allow you to put their needs over theirs? Just say that some people are selfish. They don't care. They do not care as long as you satisfy your need. In fact, I was speaking to a friend and she was complaining bitterly how family is becoming overwhelming with the bills and all that. And I told her one day, she was like, she's looking for money. I said, what do you want money to? She wants to send money to. I said, what do they need the money for? He said that she said they are on her neck. I said, don't give. Don't give. And you have fees to pay. Funny enough, she had school fees to pay, her own fees to pay. And this other person is asking for money to buy laptop. And you want to sacrifice your school fees. Who will give you? It's not as if, and the person asking for the laptop has hands to work, but decide to stay at home because you have another one that even the age difference is not even up to 3. So don't give him. She said, no, but where will he get? I said, let him. At the end of the day, he got another means. He got the laptop. Did she pay her school fees? She paid her school fees. Because sometimes people take advantage of the fact that you care. These people take advantage of the fact that you have their concerns at heart. And they forget that you're a human being. For some of us who are older siblings, we can actually relate. Or maybe you're in a family where you have also other relations too that look up. Don't kill yourself. The same thing to your relationship with other people that may not be family. You keep on pouring, you keep on pouring, you keep on pouring, and you don't get the same. At some point, my sister, take a step backward and let them reciprocate. They don't think you deserve that effort. Then they don't deserve your effort too. It's not a matter of you waiting for somebody to. Relationships that are healthy is give and take, give and take. Except you're in a relationship where you're solely there to be giving, you're solely there to be giving. Now you know what you carry yourself, go put inside. So you need to prioritize your need. Nobody's saying being selfish. Give, but then give and remember that you also you're a human being and you have needs. I see people, you'll be so concerned about your siblings, about your family. You will not focus on your emotional needs. Before you know, those people that you're sacrificing for will marry and live in that house. Then you begin to feel lonely because the time you were supposed to create a balance, you were so invested in them. Now, the last is practice self-compassion and forgive yourself for mistakes. So we have talked about compassion, you not being so hard on yourself, being kind to yourself, and understanding. You're also human. The same way you used to forgive people when they disappoint you, also forgive yourself. We make mistakes. And forgiving yourself can be tough too. These things are not easy. Trust me. You can be on that process. When I was healing, when I was on my healing journey, I went back, back. In fact, it's like you will move one step, go 10 steps backward. It was a process. It was continue until I got to a level where I beat my chest and said, I've passed this level. Nothing mega, nothing can touch me again. So you need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to give too much. Forgive yourself for being hurt. Forgive yourself for making the decisions you made that brought you to a level that you feel bad or you feel pained about. Forgive yourself for not paying attention to your instincts, to your own needs. Forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself, you will live in regrets. You'll be sulking all the days of your life. And that growth, that better version that you desire, you will not see it with that mindset. So what's the benefit of prioritizing self-love? Increase happiness. You see, I am in my baby girl life. Is everything perfect and rosy? No, but I'm at the level where I love myself. So I am happy. I find happiness within myself. Cultivating self-love leads to greater joy and fulfillment. It reduces stress. Months back, every small thing, I'm stressed. I am mentally and emotionally drained. But this period like nobody cares. I am happy. I am fulfilled. I go where I want to go. I listen to good music. I do what I read. I play games. I just give myself. I'm so happy. And it has reduced my stress level, anxiety, and my mental health is better than it was a year ago. A year ago, I felt like a mad person. Sometimes I was still like this. I will enter the street and I'll just be walking around my neighborhood. I thank God. Also, you get to build stronger relationship with people. When you love yourself, when you have a healthy relationship with yourself, you're able to also have a good relationship with other people. You know how to love people and you know how to receive their love when they love you back. And yeah, a healthy relationship with yourself foster healthy relationship and conversation and connection with other people. In fact, the last 2 years I didn't make new friends, but this short period of time, man, it is even easier for me to compliment people because I compliment myself. I tell myself I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that, I'm unique. Even if I have a small mouth, I have a small nose, even pregnancy has reduced the pointness of the nose. I'm still beautiful. I have 2K legs. I am beautiful. I have flat foot. I am beautiful. My stomach is big. I am beautiful. And that's why when I also see another person that is also beautiful, it's easier for me to identify and also give those compliments. Another is improved creativity. Self-love empowers you to explore your passion and unlock your potentials. When you are happy, you can think out of the box. You cannot be depressed. You cannot be sad and become creative, except it is dark creativity that you want to do or dark arts that begins to speak about negativity. And that is not what it should be. Yes, we have people that do that, but start the life. Start the life. In April, I resumed a new job. It was crazy. In fact, at some point, I told myself that maybe I wouldn't have resumed that work. Maybe when I resigned, I would have taken time to actually heal properly. I started a job. My thinking cap was not on because I was in a very dark point of my life. I was not productive. And it was telling on me because my monthly appraisers were not, my manager kept telling me, you're not bringing value. And deep down, I knew I was not bringing value. And I knew that it was because I was not in the best state of mind. And I did not love myself. I did not even know how to love others. In fact, I was mentally drained. And so my creativity was zero. Productivity were just hanging. So when you are happy mentally, your your mind is at rest, you're not too stressed, you begin to unlock your potential. It was in the month of August that I told myself that I was going to redirect myself and my. In fact, I was like, Deborah, what is this? You're messing up the effort of how many years? And I had to pick myself up. I had to redefine my purpose and hit the road running. And I unlocked in a short while. I have unlocked potentials that I never knew I had. So you need to begin to love yourself and prioritize yourself. Also, resilience. Self-love helps you to bounce back from challenges and adversity, helping you face them with more confidence. Yes. So if you love yourself, you are able to face challenges. When even those challenges come and hit you, you can pick up yourself again. Yeah. So you can also screenshot this if this is valuable to you. So strategies for incorporating self-love into your daily life. So I had mentioned practices. It is when you do these practices consistently and it becomes habits and you begin to live the life that you desire. One is mindful moments. So you need to practice gratitude instead of complain. Show gratitude. Be grateful every day for the little things and appreciate yourself also for your little achievements. I achieved something when I did my first webinar. I took myself out. I dressed up. I went out. I just went out to chill, listen to good music and dance. This was something I never thought I would do, but this is me doing my first webinar. And it was a success because I had people on. I don't do my webinars because I want a number of persons. I have a purpose for doing it, and once that purpose is achieved, even if it is one or two person, it is impact, and that's it. So you need to practice mindful moments every day. Every day before you sleep, just appreciate yourself for the effort you put. Even if it is to wash clothes that you're proud of. Yeah, Deborah, you've done well today. Appreciate yourself, and for every milestone you achieve, even if it is one piece of clothes you buy for yourself, celebrate yourself of affording that for yourself. Also, healthy habits. Exercise. I told you I have 2 bottles of water that I feel I use that as my dumbbell every morning. Before I bathe, I just lift them up. Sleep. Prioritize sleep. If you are feeling sleepy, even if it's 30 minutes nap, take it. You need it. Nutrition. Also, your diet also needs attention. You need to also be particular about your diet. What you eat, what you consume. You need to reduce your junk. Drink more of water. Your relaxation technique. What makes you feel relaxed? Is it listening to music? Is it reading book? Is it just staying in a very calm environment? So you just need to also take up relaxation techniques to at least incorporate one every day. If when you come back from work, before you go about doing other things in the house, maybe take 10 minutes to just relax. Personal growth. So engage in things that you love. I had also mentioned about you listing the things that gives you joy. So engage in activities, your hobbies, learn new things. You learning a new skills, learning a new skill rather, or doing something. In fact, this year cooking is not a hobby, but it's something I do. So I made it interesting for myself. I started learning new recipes. Okay, sorry. Can anybody else hear me? She seems to be struggling. Someone seems to be struggling with.
Yes,
Can you hear
yes,
me?
they're with you.
Okay, so Obele, maybe it's your network. Sorry. So you need to also engage in hobbies. You need to learn new activities. Like I was saying, I had to inculcate new recipes or new ingredients into my cooking, and it gives me joy, and I feel proud of myself. In fact, the other day I was looking on YouTube and I saw that I can actually use. I have an oven, but I said you can actually use a toaster to do cake. I just called my little girl in the house. Beauty, let's go to the kitchen. We have flour, we have this, we have vanilla, we have baking powder. We mixed everything, added chocolate to spice it up. And at the end of the day, we made cake. I was so happy. I actually made cake with my oven, with my toaster, or what they call it, sandwich maker. And it was interesting. I was so happy. I felt so fulfilled. I felt so proud of myself. I kept on. In fact, I sent a picture of the cake to everybody that lives with me in my house. That there's cake in the house, so and like, how did you do it? Another. I felt happy with myself. So also treating yourself. You also need to indulge in small acts of kindness and self-compassion. Yes, for yourself. If it is you, um, taking a cup of coffee, if that makes you feel good, you do it. If it's relaxing, that makes you feel. If it's reading, if it's listening to music, if it's getting a massage, you need to treat yourself to such. So dealing with setbacks and maintaining those will also be done, and maintaining self-love. Acknowledge the setbacks. In fact, that's like when setback comes, they tend to like question yourself, who you are, and the things you do for yourself. So you need to acknowledge these setbacks when they come. Allow yourself to feel it. You let your emotion, if it is cry, cry it. That, in fact, was it 2 days ago? I cried. I was wailing. I had a call from my manager and it wasn't nice. I felt bad because I know the right I can do more. I cried. This is me allowing myself to feel it because I didn't want to. I've gone past that era of bottling emotions, but trying to be strong one. I cried. And when after I cried, my chest calmed down. It was like this before. It came down. At least one phase has passed. So I've allowed myself to feel. I felt bad, yes. And then practice self-compassion. I told myself, okay, Deborah, this was me trying to work, not judge myself, understand, showing myself some kind of kindness, like, Deborah, don't worry, this will get better. You just have to improve and all that. This is me showing myself understanding because I don't want to be hard on myself. And then identify learning opportunities. And I went back to my JD and I looked at my JD, what's expected of me. I said, okay, this is it. So you need to also reflect on the experience and find growth potential. I looked at my JD, okay, this is what it is. What can I do? I begin to outline them. These are the things I can do to stand out or to set initiatives under this job description. This is me finding growth potentials. And then recommit to your self-care goals, reaffirm your values, and continue your journey. And I told myself, the way I can do this, excellence is your this, I can do this. And what happened? On Thursday, this happened on Wednesday, right? Yes. On Thursday, I sat down and I did something. I did a plan for an initiative and I sent it to my manager. And I got an email. She telling me, thank you for this initiative. I'm really looking forward to us. Imagine if I'd allowed that to, or maybe what she said to me to make me feel, I would have still been sucking and looking at myself like a failure because I know I'm not a failure. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect. I have flaws. So if someone thinks I've done something wrong, it's an opportunity for me to learn rather than me to be crying up and down. So in dealing with setbacks and ensuring that your self-love is intact, you just need to acknowledge the setback, allow yourself feel it, cry. If it is get angry for a while, get angry, but don't allow the anger go out of hand. Practice self-compassion, show understanding and kindness to yourself. Tell yourself, it could be in form of positive affirmation. You are good to go. This is just the little setback. You can get out of it. Identify learning opportunities. That setback, out of it, look out for something that you can use to explore yourself and get yourself standing up again. And then recommit to yourself. Continue that self-care goal and ensure that you're treating yourself the right way you should be treated. So creating a self-love supportive environment, you cannot thrive rather if your environment is not conducive. Just like a flower, like see this flower is looking so beautiful on the page because what the environment, even the person in that place, because the environment is supportive. It gives her that form of relaxation. This is a garden. So this is like nature. She experiencing nature and it's giving her that relaxed feeling. So you need to surround yourself with a lot of positivity. It includes your friends. You need to connect with people that tend to uplift and inspire you. I did that a lot. In fact, I even reconnected with some of my old friends again because this is like I mentioned, one of them is here, happiness. Happiness is one friend of mine that inspires me. In fact, we even shared our goals at the start of the year, things we wanted to do and all that, and how to support each other. This is a friend I know that she uplifts and inspires me. So we needed to reconnect again because now we got help ourselves. Is this 2025 we want to? We have told ourselves that this 2025 will make money. So we're working towards making money. So I told her that in case she sees me on that bridge that I'm selling soft drinks, let her know that it's side hustle. We are making money. So you need to surround with people that tends to give you that positivity that you need. That you see people that tell you that you're not worth it. Stay away from them. See, do you know blow them away. They should go with their all sense of negativity. Set healthy boundaries. See, setting boundaries, it can never be overemphasized. It is very important. You need to protect your time. You need to protect your energy from negative influence. See where you're putting in, and you're not getting anything. My sister, you're not the lamp upon the throne. You need to set healthy boundaries. Those people that come into your life, especially when you're doing good, and they just come, look around and say, oh, she's doing bad. Next thing they tell you something that'll make you feel bad. Pursue them. When you start seeing them, you say run. If they don't want to flee from you, flee from them. Create a calming space. So you can design a space that promotes relaxation, and it could be your room. You can decide to design your room in a way that you go to some people's room and maybe their room is all about the colors also make people feel relaxed. So they may do their rooms in all white, put a lot of flowers and design it, or put images up and down, like a calm space for them. You can actually also, if you have a spare room in your house, it could be your prayer room. It could be your prayer room. If being in that prayer room keeps you calm, please, by all means, the main aim is for you to have a calming space. So then practice mindfulness, meditation, stay present and aware of your thoughts and your emotion, show gratitude, appreciate yourself. If I say living a life of gratitude is everything. Yes, life brings its challenges every day, but you need to show gratitude every day for the fact that you sleep and wake up and you like this, you're breathing, you cough. Some people cannot cough. Your eyes are blinking. Some people, their eyes are like this 247. You drink water and you pass your truth. You don't need to put pipe. You don't need to open here to escape gas. You just need to be appreciative and show gratitude every day. And that's how you keep hopes alive. So in conclusion, you need to embracing self-love as a lifelong journey. You need to embrace it. Self-love is continuous. It is an ongoing process. It's not a destination. It is something that has to be part of you. So you need to be patient with yourself. Like I mentioned before, my healing journey, I was going back and forth. Today, I'll tell myself, oh, Deborah, you're strong. Nothing. Tomorrow, you'll see me sulking and I'm crying. But that was the process I was in. So it is a process. You need to be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress. Please learn how to celebrate your small wins. It gives this what will I call it? It gives this mindset that you would appreciate all the days of your life. Also, self-care is about making choices that aligns with your needs and your values, even when it's challenging. Yeah, sometimes you may be caught in a situation where you need to actually choose yourself. So you just need to ensure that these choices you make align with your needs and your values. So if you're someone who doesn't have your personal value, you need to have them. And then it's about taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally so you can live a fulfilling and meaningful life. So when you talk about self-care, your physical appearance, you need to be dressing properly, you need to dress to fit, you need to be looking tidy, you need to be on point physically. You need to be careful where you go to so that you don't get injured, how you walk, how you do things. Also, emotionally, who you let into your life, friends, family, what you allow affect you, the emotions you keep, the emotions you put away. mentally, your mind, what you think, what you allow live free in your head, people you allow into your space that speak to your mind and all that. So at the end of the day, everybody, what we desire is to have what fulfilling a fulfilling life. Thank you so much, everyone. And something I want to talk about, and for you to also love yourself, your spiritual life is very important. Um, most part of my healing journey, I didn't do it on my own. It was God's help, it was His love. At some points, I just needed to plug into something that was higher and greater. So, whatever it is you hold sacred, if it is God, if you're a Muslim, whatever it is, you just need to hold on to that thing you hold sacred. Your spiritual life is very important. Your spiritual life literally controls every other part of your life. So if you're spiritually solid and strong, you can actually overcome other battles that or other challenges that come with your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So if you're a Christian and you are like this, you need to revisit and begin to build a solid relationship with Christ. It's not just about knowing Christ, but knowing Him and owning Him and Him having a place, a throne in your life. So that's it. Thank you so much. I'm open to questions. Do we have questions? Or is this something you'd want to chat me up later? So do you have questions? If you have questions, you can raise up your hands and the floor is open. Or if it's something you want to say, we just have like 10 or 5 minutes or thereabout before we call it a day. We have exceeded 1 hour. But thank you so much, guys, for joining. I really appreciate for giving your time to this. So please, I'm all ears. If you have questions, if you have something to say, you can raise your hand. You can raise your hand. If you have questions, you can ask. Anita, is your hand up or is an old hand?
It's an old and but good evening, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's a point I missed. I was trying to get clarity on that where you mentioned um self care and being selfish,
Okay.
or something like that. Yes, I didn't really get that point. So please, can you do a recap briefly on that? Thank you.
Okay. All right. I would take that down and I'll allow every other person speak. Then I think I'll close with that. Okay, happiness, you can go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
The aspects on self care. I'm speaking
Okay.
from experience, right? So most times this imposter syndrome sets in when you have to ac- actually put your sorry, I'm in a salon. When you
Okay.
actually have to put your like if you have a baby, you actually have to put them first before yourself, especially for new moms. It can be overwhelming having to care for your child and then care for yourself as well. So oftentimes it happens that most wives and mothers, they just put their babies first, and then it puts you in this state where you feel unhappy, you feel it builds up over time, and then you tend to see yourself as an angry woman, an angry wife, or something like that. So most times it can be very challenging balancing that sort of thing. I can remember when I gave birth my first baby. There were times where I would even lose track of going to a salon to even do the least control or go to clean my nails and all of that, because caring for a child and then taking care of yourself can be very, very challenging as a wife and as a mom. So we need like another piece of advice on how to actually handle that and then excel in the both, because you have to always create a balance.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Obele. Obele, you can unmute and speak.
Okay.
Mm,
Good afternoon, everyone.
good afternoon.
It's not a question though. It's just my own contribution of what I have to say. I want to
Okay.
first of all say thank you for doing this. Um, my own experience as a first-time mom. I think I spent the whole of last year not taking care of myself. The whole experience was overwhelming, and career wise it felt like I was on standstill, where you have to see your colleagues doing one thing or the other and you're just at home caring for a child. And also my baby isn't independent yet because of the challenges he faced when he was born. So all through last year I sometimes wasn't fair to myself. The body changes, having the baby or the mom belly and all that. But one thing I made up my mind entering 2025 was to take care of myself more, because you need to be safe to save others. Actually, for me to care for my child, I need to also care for myself. For me to be able to cater for my family, I need to be strong. So this session is like an affirmation um, that's going to help me to stick to the plans I have made for this year. It's one thing to write out things you want to do to take care of yourself. It's another thing to also follow it up. And thank you for this session. This is like a double assurance that I really, really need to take care of myself. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I would want to begin to treat our responses, questions. So IB, you had talked about selfishness and self-care, and so let me I'm trying to give a okay, let me give a scenario using you. Okay. Um so selfishness is when you do something and it creates a negative impact. In fact, in doing something and you're selfish about it, you're not thinking if the impacts would affect the next person. You're not thinking if this action is a life or a death situation. Your own is that as long as I'm doing this. For example, I gave an instance of buying a jewelry. If buying that jewelry will bring your family finances to a point where you will not see food to eat, or it will make you guys go bankrupt, that is being selfish, because that action of yours is going to have a negative impact on others, even yourself. So that's what being selfish is all about. But self-care is doing things that makes you happy and makes you become a better version. And self-care doesn't warrant you to what? To actually what? Cause harm on others. Because the essence of self-care is to help you build better relationship or connect with others. So going to use the whole money your family has to buy jewelry is not self-care, it's selfishness. It's not self-love, it's selfishness. Because at the end of the day, using that entire money to buy a jewelry or pay for something, and at the end of the day, you producing, is that you have sacrificed the entire family. And that's selfishness. For what? For a short-term gratification. No, now. So that's the difference between self-care and self-love or self-care is aimed towards making you a better version to create or foster a healthy relationship between you and others. But selfishness, on the other hand causes what? Causes issues. It makes your relationship to struggle with others. So I hope you understand the difference. Selfishness, you not even
Yes, yes, I do. Yes,
putting anybody's feeling or emotion at all. This one, they think if what thing I go do. Okay, for instance, um I even gave okay, that doesn't apply, but I think that this works. This works. So this other example I want to give is relating to what happiness and the comment that Obele made. Imposter syndrome. So what imposter syndrome is you doing something and you're feeling like it's not you. For example, maybe you're successful in a business and you feel like, do I deserve it? That's what imposter syndrome is. And motherhood is another phase. If as somebody that is single, you are not married and you don't have a child, you are dealing with self-care issues or self-love issues. It doubles up when you become married and you become a mother. Because married on its own gives at a point where you also have to make sacrifices. And motherhood is where even you make the greater sacrifice. Particularly if you have a child that is maybe your child is saying at the toddler phase. Now, how do you do to help yourself and also get through it? Number one, you also need to what? Be intentional. Intentionality. You have to be intentional about loving yourself. And it doesn't have to be all about the bigger things, the smaller things, and gradually. You also have to utilize the help you get. Like I did, I have my siblings staying with me, and sometimes. So if it is me going out, maybe I want to go out alone, or I want to do, I beg them, I beg, help me look out for the child. I'm a human being, let me go and enjoy myself. This is me making use of the help that I have. And I give an instance of me going to pick up my child and taking him to the salon. Yes, I think at some point I had people coming to the house to make my hair, to do all those stuff for me. That's because, and if you have the money and you can afford it, don't be stingy with yourself. If you have the money to afford home service, please, my darling, you deserve it. There are people who even do home service massage. So the baby can be in the house and you are doing your thing and you are okay. It's a case where you do not have the money to afford home service. And maybe if the salon is convenient, you can take your child there to go and do your nails or take care of yourself. Or if it is an event, you can take your baby with, and maybe you have someone that can help you stay with the baby while you're at the event. You carry the person, utilize help. You carry the person, say, come, we're going out, or baby, you know, say why you they carry that person go now because you make you free for the meeting where you did. Maybe like saying anything. But you're utilizing the help you have. So intentionality and then you utilizing help. Yes, when a child is a child, making life decision for that child solely depends on you. So you're not living life just for yourself. It is when you make decisions and you tell yourself, I don't care about the child. That is when selfishness comes into play. But being a mother doesn't mean that you shouldn't pamper yourself. You may not have the opportunity every time, but be intentional about creating these opportunities for yourself. And when they come, use it. So that is all I can say. I totally relate with you. In fact, there was a point, but as if being a mother is like prison. See, like especially when you see that your husband is he just wake up in the morning and fiap, you all wear shirt and fiap. Or you cannot fiap like that because even if you want to fiap, you have a child. Maybe you need to bathe the child. You need to make food. Maybe make plan for meals that the child will eat. And even if you finally go out, you cannot stay till the time you used to stay out when the child is not there because you need to come back and bathe the child and ensure the child is okay. some persons are also lucky to have their parents, maybe their mom or their mother-in-law around. You know that one is his mother, so you can drop the charge and away you go. So it's a lot, and even as young girls too. One thing I want to tell you, society will do you something this life for, but at the end of the day, you just have to understand the role society play, and that society will always be society, regardless. Society is society. So at the end of the day, you just have to be you. You have to be who you want to be. You alone know your purpose. You alone know your values. You alone. But at the end of the day, whatever you do to show yourself love should not be at the detriment of someone's life or be a person's happiness, except that person is not happy that you are happy. That's the case, and at that point they will be all right. Thank you so much. Do you have any other question, any comments? We have like 2 more minutes. If you have any comment or question to ask, you're free to unmute. We have like 2-3 minutes before we call it a day. I really appreciate you guys for joining. I do not take it for granted. I'll let you know when we're having the next edition. I told you it's going to be like 3 episodes. So we're expecting either a webinar next month or an Instagram live. So please. And also, if you have anything you need to speak to me about, I offer free consultation, and I'm happy to walk you through your wellness journey. It's not easy. Me, self, as I'm like this, I'm also going through my own too. But together, the thing is just having the right support, and you are good to go. I think I was blessed during my journey to actually have the right support and people who saw me through, and that's my testimony, and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Since there are no more questions, I'll call it